Hi everyone, hope you're all doing good. So in this particular video, we are going to talk about pattern recognition. So pattern recognition is an excellent approach to find price action trades. So if there is one important topic which should be learned by all the price action trader, it has to be about pattern recognition. So before you go through this particular video, I recommend you to go through the previous videos so that you can understand whatever concept and whatever topics I'm going to cover in this particular video. And I specifically recommend you to go through the video about reading the price action bar by bar before you continue with this one. And apart from that, to follow along with the course, to get the best possibilities, I recommend you to click on the subscribe button and tap on the notification icon. Let us get started. So first of all, the concept of patterns are very important for price action traders. So patterns in the sense we are talking about repeating price behavior, something that happens again and again. Whenever we use the word patterns here, so most of the people would think about candlestick patterns, they think about chart patterns, and they think about all the different types of traditional technical analysis patterns. They can also be considered as patterns, but the patterns which we are going to discuss about are going to be completely different. We will call them as price action patterns. So the price action patterns which we are going to discuss on this particular video, it will help us to take entries, it will help us to plan our exits, and it will help us to take proper targets. So all in all, it will help us to trade in a systematic manner. It will provide clarity in our price action trading process. I have written an excellent article on my website about the importance of pattern recognition. So you can go to my website, that is www.tradingcoach.co.in, and there you can find the article where I have written about pattern recognition. So I recommend you to go through that content because there I have covered a lot of points which I won't be able to cover in this particular video because of the time limitations. So make sure you check it out. Alright, so why pattern recognition is the key to be a successful price action trader? Why to be a successful trader you need to focus more on pattern recognition? Well, the difference is actually in the approach, it's actually in the technique. Say if you take a normal trader, normal average trader, what they usually do is they learn a few things about price action and they follow a three-step process. They usually mark the horizontal support and resistance, they read the price action bar by bar or candles by candles, and then finally they try to take a trading decision on a random basis. They do follow the same process of other price action traders, but what they actually do is they take a kind of a random trading decision. Alright, they simply read the candles bar by bar and they go ahead and try to take positions in the market, which often doesn't work out. On the other hand, when we look at professional traders, they mark the horizontal support and resistance. They mark both horizontal as well as the parallel support and resistance, of course. And then again they try to read the price action bar by bar or candles by candles. But then they do something a little different from normal traders. They try to recognize the patterns around support and resistance. They will try to look for repetitive price behavior that happens around support and resistance before they take a trade. So once they identify a proper pattern, then they can take a trading decision with good clarity. Alright, so if you compare a pro trader with a normal trader simply read the price action along the support and resistance and then they try to take the trading decision on a very random basis. Whereas if you look at a professional trader, they take the trading decision with a proper clarity and they do this by looking for patterns. So if you follow along with this particular approach of looking for specific patterns around support and resistance, you will be able to find high probability trades. At the same time, you will be able to capture good opportunities that market presents itself to us. Alright, let us look at some of the examples. So let us start our example by analyzing the 15 minutes chart of ITC Limited. So right now, if I'm looking at ITC stock prices from my right hand side to the left hand side, I can see a very good range over here. I can see a kind of a sideways market, and within this sideways market I can see proper horizontal support level. At the same time I can see a kind of a parallel resistance level. So let me mark both the support as well as the resistance over here. Let me do that. So let me take the rectangle and let me mark the resistance first. Alright, let me do this. So as you can notice, I have drawn the resistance here, and while drawing the resistance I have connected all the major swing points and all the major turning points. And now what I can do is I can try to draw the support line or the support zone. Alright, so here I have drawn a kind of a parallel support over here. The way I have did this is by looking at all these major swing points. Alright, I have connected all these different major swing points over here and I have extended the line. So respectively, now I can look at a parallel support and I can also look at a horizontal resistance. So if you like to learn how to draw the horizontal resistance and a parallel support just like this, or if you want to learn how to draw the proper support and resistance line in a good manner, you can check out my video. I have already made a video on that. You can check out that particular video and you'll be able to learn more about drawing the support and resistance line in a proper manner. Alright, so now let us focus on the analysis over here. So let me zoom in a little bit and let us focus on what's happening right now. So when I do bar by bar analysis, I can understand that right now I can see a very strong trending bar over here. Alright, so I have a very strong bearish trending candle, and right after the bearish trending candle I had another small bearish trending candle. Then right after this small bearish trending candle I had a large bullish trending candle. Alright, so from here to here I can see a similar behavior on the price, right? If I read the price action bar by bar, I can see that both buyers and sellers are trying to take dominance over the price, but actually sellers are winning the battle. Because if you look at the force of this particular bearish candle, it's very strong and also it's very powerful. And this specific bearish candle has created a kind of a pattern we call as a breakout. Alright, so this specific pattern you see here, this is what we call as a breakout. So let me write it down there. And right after the breakout and right after a couple of strong candles, you can notice the price action from here onwards, right? Take a look at the market behavior, take a look at the price action exactly from this particular green candle. So right after this green candle, you can see the size of the candles have become very small, right? They have become ranging candles, right? We are seeing a series of ranging candles, and right after a couple of ranging candles, we are seeing a very strong bearish candle. So this particular price behavior is telling us that the market is now dominated by sellers. The selling pressure is taking control of the market prices. So right after a strong bullish candle, a strong trending bullish candle, we had a series of ranging candles, and this ranging candles means there is a fierce fight between buyers and sellers, and finally sellers took control of the market prices. Alright, so this trending candle that you see here, this technically means sellers are dominating the price and the prices have a very good tendency to go down. So now what happens is you have an option here, you have two different options. So one thing is you can go ahead and take the trade without even knowing where to keep the stop loss, or where to keep the target or where to keep the entry and all these things. You can randomly go ahead and sell the stock. Or what you can do is you can consider this whole thing as a pattern. So we have a breakout here, right? I can memorize this entire breakout as a kind of a pattern. Alright, I'll be following more about the second type of the approach. So I'll be considering this whole thing as a kind of a pattern, and I will try to structure my entry and exits based on the pattern. So this particular pattern is what we call as a breakout and a retest formation. So I can trade this whole thing just like keeping a proper entry and keeping a proper target and keeping a proper stop loss. Alright, on the other hand, if I'm just going on just by looking at the candles, and if I try to take a trade just by reading the price bars, I won't be having a kind of a clarity here. Alright, I will just look at the candles and and I need to take the trade just by looking at each and every one of the candles, and it is a kind of a random way to trade the market. But once you add this pattern recognition approach, you'll have a very good idea where you need to keep your entry, where you need to keep your stop loss, and where you need to keep your target. Alright, say for example, in this particular case, since I'm looking at something called as a breakout, all I can do is I can use a ready-made template here. So I can try to take my entry right after this. So I can take my entry right at this point, and I can keep my target maybe right at the next bottom level, or maybe I can keep my target based on the measurement. So I can measure this entire breakout level over here, and right from the starting point of this particular retest, I can keep the same measurement as my target. Alright, I can keep my target right over this particular. So I'm using a standard approach to trade this particular setup over here. So this is a pattern recognition approach. All I'm doing is I'm trying to look for a particular breakout retest pattern, and once I saw this breakout retest pattern, I'm quickly taking the trade. So this is a better approach compared to something like reading the candles bar by bar, because if you read the candles bar by bar and if you keep taking trades based on individual candle, maybe down the line you will not have that much clarity in taking your entries or in keeping your targets. Here I have simplified the entire approach. So all I did is just marking the support, marking the resistance, and then once I saw the breakout, all I have to do is just read the candles within the breakout, and once I see the momentum picking up on the downside, I have to just structure my entry and I have to structure my target. That's it. Alright. So it's a simple way and an effective way to trade the market. So this is what we call as pattern recognition. So let us summarize. So after marking the support and resistance, you need to look for the patterns around them, and you need to look for repeating patterns. So once you find a repeating market behavior or a repeating patterns, you can use the patterns to structure your entries and exits. Alright, it's a simple and the most effective approach to trade price action techniques. So let us look at one more example. Take a look at this particular chart over here. So I'm looking at Godrej Consumer Products Limited, and I'm looking at the 5-hour chart of Godrej Consumer Products. So here I can see a kind of a higher high market behavior, right? So you can see the prices are consistently making higher highs. So now what I can do is I can try to mark the support and resistance, and I can try to recognize the patterns around them. Let us do that. So here I have drawn the parallel resistance level. I'm just connecting all the major swing points over here, and now I can also draw the parallel support level, which I can see at the bottom. So again, when I'm looking at parallel support, I'm just connecting all the bottom points over here. Alright, so I'm looking at all the major turning points at the bottom, and I'm just trying to connect them all together. And once I have drawn the parallel support and parallel resistance, I can try to read the price action over here, and I can try to understand the pattern. Alright, now what I can do is I can try to read the price bars one by one. I can try to understand who's dominating the market here. If you look at the prices, I can understand, the overall, the sellers are trying to take control of the market prices, but the selling pressure is not so strong enough. But also what I can do is I can also understand this is a kind of a pattern we call as a pullback. Alright, so what we see here is a kind of a pullback pattern, and this pullback pattern technically means the prices are going to shoot up. Alright, so here instead of reading the price action bar by bar, instead of just focusing on each and every candle, I can directly understand the pattern and I can directly go ahead and take my trades. So in this specific case, I can look at this particular pattern and I can consider it as a buying opportunity. Alright, so if the trade works out, if the buying pressure is too much, the market can shoot up in my direction. I can see a pullback pattern, and this technically means we are also seeing a very weak selling pressure, and the prices can easily shoot up. So if my analysis is right, if my approach is actually right, we can expect the market prices to shoot up. Alright, so that's what we call as pattern recognition. So if you feel a little overwhelmed by this particular video, make sure to check the video one more time. So keep looking at the video until you completely understand this concept. And knowing this one simple concept can separate successful traders from average traders. So what makes a pro trader and a normal trader is the concept of pattern recognition. So in case if you like to know more about me and more about my trading style and my approach, have a look at my website, that is www.tradingcoach.co.in, and I have also written a lot of contents and a lot of articles related to pattern recognition. Make sure to check it out. And finally, if you like this particular video, kindly click on the like button. And thanks a lot for watching. We will catch up in the next video.